Cool, I'm going to keep it short. And I'm also going to start with a live demo, so hopefully this works. No worries. Oh, don't worry about that. Okay, can't blame Ethereum for the screen right now. I'm not sure why that's not. Oh, there we go. Great. So yeah, I'm working on a project called Balance with some friends up in Williamsburg, and I'd love to show you kind of the product that we've launched so far. It's this tool called Balance Manager. You can think of this as an alternative to my crypto or my Ether wallet, and people use it to manage hundreds of millions of tokens and move millions around. And so you can connect to MetaMask like most tools. You can see here earlier, I participated in the New Lab project. We also tokenized one of our teammates, Mike, and they drew me on the whiteboard. So we can see, we can dive in here and see in OpenSea that they lovingly kind of recorded me on the whiteboard and then made a token for me. Yeah, so these are tools that we're building to make it easier to interact with the Ethereum protocol. And one of the projects that we spent the last year working on and shipping out for developers is something called Wallet Connect. So Wallet Connect is a way for people with mobile wallets that support it to log into web-based apps. So I'm going to try and get this to work on the presentation board. So on my phone, I've got the wallet. It works. Yeah, and then it's going to establish an end-to-end connection between my phone and the dApp. And so now I can do away with the Chrome extension and use my phone as the kind of key signing and tool here. And so this is what we've kind of been working on over the last year. And I'd like to briefly show you some of the things that we're going to be shipping this year. So I'll just head into the presentation. Yeah, so we can think of what we have now as a basic wallet. It's a way to interact with Ethereum. We support kind of ERC20, the standard tokens, ERC721, the tokens that are like CryptoKitties. We've developed this standard called Wallet Connect and kind of separated that from Balance so that other people can use it. And then we've really obsessed over a simple send and receive flow, making it as simple as possible. And this is a kind of preview of one of our website that we're kind of updating at the moment. But really what we want to do is help people grow their balance. And that we're kind of focusing on two areas. And that is protocols where you can kind of invest and make a return. And this is broadly called the kind of open financial system. And also, we're thinking a lot about ways in which you can earn money from some of these protocols and how we can make user interfaces to make that a lot simpler for regular people. And so there's a variety of protocols where you can actually kind of work for them and do things and get rewarded in tokens. Obviously, Ryan showed you Foam. We've seen a presentation from LivePeer. And there's a whole bunch of these where you're going to be able to do work for the protocol and earn a return. And we want to bring a lot of that right onto your phone. So let's dive into an example. We've been doing an awful lot of work with Maker. Now, as we mentioned, a lot of people have collateralized debt positions, and they are constantly wanting to know whether they're about to get liquidated. I personally had one liquidated, and I'd preferred it not to have happened. And so we're building a tool here where your CDP will be represented as a card within your wallet. And then if you tap on that, you can dive in and kind of see where you're at in terms of your collateralization ratio. And then if you want, you can kind of repay it and pay down the debt. And we're trying to make that as simple as possible and give you kind of ways to explore what different kind of ratios you could use, whether you want to repay ETH or DAI. And then, crucially, be able to set up notifications based on your tolerance for risk and kind of get notified by the app if you're close to getting liquidated. And so this is, I hope, a good example of where while everybody else is building up the infrastructure from the base and kind of using Ethereum as their kind of as the substrate, we're really starting with the customer use cases and the things that people might do and trying to work down towards the protocols and as best as we can work with the right people and teams and projects and code to make these things easier to use. And as an experiment and for this presentation, I kind of started thinking through what this would look like if we were to do something for Foam. And so Foam's really cool in that you can kind of navigate around and challenge things and earn tokens. And they do have a dApp that works on mobile dApp browsers. And these are browsers that are contained within apps like Trust Wallet and Coinbase Wallet and IM Token. But I kind of wanted to take a little time and imagine what it would look like as a fully native experience. We know that people obviously run around and stare at their phone and do crazy things with Pokemon Go. And so if we could make the experience really engaging, and if people could earn tokens on their phone, I think that could be pretty compelling. And here's a little mock-up. So you can imagine there'd be a little card in the earn section of the Balance wallet. And if you were to kind of set up a phone position or establish some kind of location, you could get a notification if there was potentially something that you could challenge nearby you, and you could see if it was correct or not. And if it wasn't, you could begin challenging those people. One of the ones that has quite a bit of tokens staked on it is the Williamsburg Hotel. And if that was incorrect, you could perhaps challenge that and earn a return. And I hope that I'm just kind of sharing here a rough preview of how we can layer on top of all these really interesting protocols and make them relatively accessible for regular people. If you're interested in the project and would like to join the test flight and give us feedback, you can follow us on balance_io on Twitter and direct message us, and the links to everything are on there. But thanks so much for your time. I know it's been a long evening, and I'd love to chat to you afterwards.